and welcome to livingpianos.com and virtuosheetmusic.com with the second part in a series about Ivory. We had a viewer question from Teresa who asked, can you replace just a couple of broken ivory keys? This is a really good question, and there's a lot of issues with ivory, as I discussed last week. But specifically about, you'd think that, if you just had a couple of broken ones, maybe you could replace them. Well, maybe you can. It really depends. A lot of tuners will carry around spare ivories from pianos that had ivories, but half of them were broken, so they take off the others and they put them in a box. And they do that whenever they come across old pianos that have bad set of ivories. They'll take the good ones just so they have spares. So you might think it would be pretty simple then. They must have spares. If I find somebody who has spares, you're done. Well, it's not quite so simple, because since ivories come from elephants, there's no two that are exactly alike. So one set of ivories might have a certain pattern, a certain size, a certain color that is different from another. And if you replace it with the wrong one, you might get one that is too short. If it's too long, maybe you could trim it. But if the color is off, it'll just stick out if it's yellower or whiter than surrounding ivories. So for a technician to be able to do this, they must have hundreds or at least dozens of ivories to have a good chance of finding a right match. Eventually, this whole issue might become even more difficult as the laws regarding ivory are tightened. But for now, if you find a technician who's got spares and you're just missing a couple, you probably can get somebody to replace those for you. Now, if you have a whole bunch that are cracked or missing, it's really not practical to be able to replace that many. And in that case, you want to get a job done to replace the ivory with plastic key tops, which incidentally are pretty much the same as ivory as a pianist. They're very close. I have a video on that subject you can check out, ivory versus plastic. Not such a big issue. Some people have a strong feeling one way or the other, and I respect both opinions. The good news is you can always put plastic on your keys if you don't like ivory or if you have a bad set of ivory. And if you have a couple missing, ask your technician if they have spares. Thanks for the great question, Teresa, and thanks everybody for joining me, Robert Estrin, here at livingpianos.com and virtuosheetmusic.com.